around here. So anyway, his ideas of the South, and he said he was kind of confused of the prairie land that shows out in the west when you watch the westerns in Texas, and that's true. It's flat land out there. You can see for to the horizon. So it's flat land, no mountains I know of in Texas. There's some mountains, of course, out in Colorado and there. But you come back this way and cross the Mississippi River, and if you stay in the right place, not all of it is mountainous. There's still a lot of flat land down toward the coast. But up in this area, you get in the foothills, the Appalachians and the Cumberland Mountains, and north of here to the northeast is the Great Smoky Mountains. And these are not huge mountains by Mount Everest standards or even Rocky Mountain standards, but we have peaks here that go up 6,000 or 7,000 feet. But here, immediately in these foothills, the highest peak might be 2,000 feet. So a lot of hills. In this particular area in the foothills, there's a lot of hills, a lot of coves, mountains, creeks. We have the Tennessee River. I could almost see the Tennessee River from here if the trees weren't there. So we have the Tennessee River runs down through here, and notice I keep wiping my nose. Something here in the woods is bothering my sinuses a little bit, but it's not bad yet. But anyway, yeah, this is a different country from Texas for sure. We have some country in South Alabama that looks a lot like Texas, but here in North Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, you're getting in the hillbilly country, in the foothills. A lot of hills and valleys and everything. Let's see what he said. He also said he enjoyed the greenery. Now, I don't know in Sydney. I don't know how much greenery you have in Sydney. And I got a little taste of that. I've not traveled greatly. I've been out of the country to Mexico and things like that, but not. I might have even been into the edge of Canada one time, but I haven't traveled greatly. But I have traveled inside this country on my job. Sometimes it takes me out west, some of the military test ranges where it's out in the desert. And the time I spent a little bit of time out in the desert and came back to my home here, which I missed very much. It was hot and dry out there. It's hot and humid here during the right kind of months. But when I came in and drove in from the airport, and I'd stepped off the plane and felt the humidity, I can really tell the difference between the plains and here in the mountains. And also the overgrowth of it was like coming into a jungle compared to areas that are arid and not as green as Chris said. And this area is green. It's just hanging over. Now, I'll move out of the way and you can look up the back there and see some of the trees and the greenery and some of the rocks and whatever. And anyway, he said he'd like to have a kind of gave him a better perspective of the U.S. by me kind of showing what goes on here in the South. That I enjoyed that too. And he said if he ever comes to the U.S., I hope he comes to the South, and I hope he looks me up. I'm here. Maybe I'll be here when he makes it. Bill from Great Britain. I met a couple of the people from Great Britain down at YouTube, SouthTube the other day. Paul, UK, and Positive Sue. Enjoyed that. Didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with them because I was only there a short time. But I've got to know them here on YouTube. And Chris, if you make it up this way, you look me up. And I was about to say that Bill from Great Britain, I think, is on his way here right now and says he's coming into the Chattanooga, this northeast Alabama area, and we have plans to get together, and he said hoist a few. So I'll have to find a local pub. I don't expect British Irish pubs in this part of Alabama, Bill, but we'll find something a cool one. I'm looking forward to that. Hope you get in touch when you get here. Chris also mentioned some films. He had 3 favorite films that he mentioned, and I don't think I've seen any of them, Chris. He mentioned one called Jamestown. I'll plan to look up all 3 of these since you gave me recommendations and try to watch all 3 of them. But one called Jamestown that he liked, and he said it was a lot of natural scenes and nature and thought I would like that. So I'll have to look that up. And about the time he was talking about his movie, his little dog came to the door. I forget his name, had a cute little name. But it's good to know you have a dog there to keep you company, Chris. I don't know if you're living in you said you were in school, studying masters, if you're living in an apartment, a dormitory, or house, but it's nice to have a pet like that to keep you company. And the other movie he mentioned was Badlands. And he said it was a violent movie about two killers in the South. And yeah, I was thinking today, I would like sometime. I don't know how violent. I guess it's violent everywhere in the world. If you watch the news, you think it is. But yeah, there's violence here in the South. There's violence all over the U.S. People do like their guns. There's killings, not to the extent that you have on TV and on the movies. But I'd like sometime, just in my little local area, to do some research and maybe do some videos on local murders. That's kind of, at Halloween, I guess that'd be okay. That sounds kind of bad to want to talk about murders, but it is something that's interesting. And there's violence here in the South. So that movie probably had some truth to it, but it probably also was greatly exaggerated. So anyway, I'd like to see that one too, called Badlands.